one of the biggest headlines this week in the NBA was the NBA's top 75 players list, which was basically just the top 50 players and 25 players added on to that original list. And a lot of players got snubbed that I think were deserving of getting in. Vince Carter, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, Chris Bosh, Alex English, Dwight Howard,
Paul George,
Tracy McGrady.
I can make an argument for Paul George.
Kyrie Irving, Bernard King.
We'll see.
I mean, so, you know,
they didn't have Walt up there, Frazier?
Well, Frazier.
Did they have him up there?
They probably did have him. They had a lot of Knicks.
Yeah.
They were very biased to the Knicks.
Did they have Darren Williams?
You know, I think
I just saw the picture of him right there. You X'd him out.
I think the list is really about impact of era, like what you did in your respective era. Because obviously, there's a lot of guys on there where we're like I
get what you're saying, but I do think the list was heavily biased towards the older generation.
You got to remember who's making it. Older generation people. You know, if they add a bunch of young guys in the room, it's going to change.
So, like, for example, like, look.
Dolph Shades, I saw his film. He's garbage.
How about Arzini, whatever his name?
I don't know, but that Dolph guy, I saw his film. He's dumb.
Like, for example, Arzin was trash as hell.
He shoots like this, and he doesn't jump.
For example, look, Billy Cunningham, 5-time All-Star. He made it. Dave Cowens, Boston Celtics center. I think he deserved to make it. 2-time champ, 8-time All-Star.
I think everybody from that Celtics team made it.
Wes Unseld.
Rightfully so.
Wes Unseld, 5-time All-Star. He won an MVP as a rookie, but averaging 14 points and 18 rebounds. Those are Andre Drummond numbers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Lenny Wilkins, 16-7 for his career. Dame made it. And
Dame getting in was crazy.
Like, for example,
I think Dame's better than Paul George all the time.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know, bro.
Let me ask you a question.
I don't know.
Before you go, I just want to say this. I have a problem. I don't have a problem with Tmac not getting in, even though, like, Pete Kemp, yeah, for sure, he should be. He's definitely a top 75 player of all time.
His peak is top
Alex
40.
English, even though he scored all those points, he never made it to the Western Conference Finals, and that's a big knock on him.
Nugget of all time, right?
Carmelo, I think.
Okay.
You know, Carmelo, I think. And it's gonna be Jokic though if he stays there.
Definitely.
For sure. Chris Bosh, I was okay with because he took a dip in his stats to go win rings in Miami. I felt like Pau Gasol and Dwight Howard should have been on this list. Pau Gasol, Dwight Howard especially. Like, the NBA acts like Dwight Howard wasn't one of the best players of this decade.
He was a top 4 player at his peak.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy.
Yes.
I mean, he's the only player to ever win 3 Defensive Player of the Years back to back to back. Like, Rudy Gobert has 3, doesn't have it in 3 straight seasons. And even, like, it's so crazy to think about this. Dwight Howard's prime was cut short because of a back injury. And even with that cut short prime, 8-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA, 13,000 career rebounds, 2,000 career blocks. The only players to have 13K rebounds and 2K blocks, Tim Duncan, Garnett, Shaq, Olajuwon, Robert Parrish, and Abdul-Jabbar.
And they're all in except Parrish except Parrish. Right?
Yeah, and Parrish has a case to be in too. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
so,
yeah.
You know, Dwight Howard has this all-time resume, and to me, it felt like they're probably doing a projection because there's no way AD is over Dwight Howard if you're just going off their resume. And also looking at the list, I felt like the resume was biased towards winning. You know, there's players there that were multiple-time champions, but they didn't have a lot of all-stars.
Debatable because
Clay's not on it.
I looked at 3 guys because me personally, all time, and I think all time, I think of stats, impact, accolades. Those are the 3 things I go off of because I feel like peak. Yeah, your peak can be better than somebody, but what have you done in a span of an impact? What does your longevity tell you? 3 guys came up to my mind: Dwight Howard, Tony Parker, and Tmac. Tony Parker, 5-time champion, 5-time All-Star, Finals MVP, one of the best point guards of his time, a catalyst for a team that was a 50-win team, a dynasty.
Finals MVP.
Like, this is a guy who he is one of the 75 best players ever. And of course, obviously, I don't even got to say too much because you already said it. Dwight Howard easily should have got in over AD. No offense, AD. I think AD. If he's not a top 75 now, he will eventually be a top 75 player. But Dwight Howard should have easily been in there. He's one of the best defensive bigs we've ever seen.
Period.
And then Tmac, it's tricky because Tmac,
his career was cut short.
It was, but at his peak, like you said, winning matters, and he didn't make it out the first round.
But he was still a 7-time All-Star.
That's why it's really tricky. The list is really confusing. I mean, it really, we can just look at the 25 guys that just got in. We could just scratch the 50 and look at the 25 that got in, I think most of them deserve to be in. I mean, Kawhi got in.
Did you think Dame?
Steph got in? No, not Dame. Dame is the only tricky one. Dwight should have took Dame's spot.
I disagree.
Dwight should have took Dame's spot. But
Dwight should have definitely took Dame's spot.
I disagree.
Dwight has accomplished more.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me ask you.
Is it a detriment to say Dwight should have took Paul Pierce's spot?
No,
I think Dwight should have taken a D spot.
Wait.
Not
You
Dame's.
think Damian Lillard has a better resume than Dwight Howard?
The stats are ridiculous when you look at Dame 30, 28, 30, 29, all like
First
and
round
assists.
exit.
You mean points?
No,
Just points.
Points and assists.
Bubble, first round exit.
But he has big playoff
Last
moments
year,
as well.
first round
He's
exit.
ended
Drew
two
Holiday?
series.
Has Dame ever made the finals as the man?
He went to the Western Conference Finals
Got
by
swept.
himself.
So Dwight went to the finals, and that team was glued around him.
But that team was
And
solid.
they beat LeBron. They beat your man.
That team was solid.
And they beat Boston.
Yeah.
No,
beat
it was
Boston, they beat
but that-
LeBron.
I'm
They beat the
not.
big three.
I'm not disrespecting.
And
Dwight.
Jameer Nelson was hurt too.
But that was
Rafir Austin
that
was starting for
that
them.
was a good squad. Hito Turkoglu, obviously Rashad
Was big
Lewis.
the big three Boston Celtics not favored to come out the East?
They were favored to
I'm
win that series.
Not saying you're wrong at all because that was a solid team.
No, it was a good team. Definitely
Obviously, Dwight was the main character of that squad.
But Dame doesn't have more All Stars than Dwight. He doesn't have more All NBAs than Dwight. His defensive resume can't sniff
okay,
Dwight.
no, but no one's talking defense.
But that's a
It has
big
to
part
be.
of the game. We gotta talk about it. We're talking about
Which is
this.
why I would say to AD. I'm not gonna
AD
say
has
Dwight.
accomplished more.
AD
than
has a
Dame.
championship.
No, yes, AD definitely does,
And he put in work for that title.
but you look at the years and the consistency of what
Dame is
Damian
so
Lillard
overrated,
does,
bro.
That's wrong.
Dame is
That's
so
wrong.
overrated.
Dame or Tony Parker?
Dame
I'm
is
taking
so
Tony Parker.
young.
Who should have got in?
TP,
Between
bro.
Look
Tony
at
Parker
this,
and Dame,
like-
Tony Parker, 100%.
All right, see,
Dame is becoming the
look, we
most overrated player ever.
Oh
yo.
my God, you're coming crazy. Go look
nah,
at
bro.
the numbers.
Nah,
So what?
bro.
So Kyrie should have gotten over him.
I did.
No,
I say
Kyrie
We
Kyrie.
didn't say Kyrie. We're talking about
three
Dwight
third
Howard.
players that could have got over Dame.
Kyrie
Dwight-
shouldn't get in my
No,
opinion.
Dwight over AD is the one comparison that I would say. I'm cool
Dwight
with-
over Dame, man. That's easy.
That's tough.
No,
'cause,
that's
dude,
easy.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Dame's scoring is ridiculous, and he's
Drew.
ended two
Drew,
series
answer
in
this.
the
Answer
playoffs.
this. Name me something else Dame has done besides the stats.
Hold on.
the two series.
How many
enders
All
is
NBA
nothing?
teams he has?
You mean in the first round?
No,
They're both first rounders.
the one against OKC was in the first
Yeah.
round as well.
3 seeds.
So in the
versus
first,
6
talking about first round exits.
Bro,
I mean, he made it to the Western Conference Finals.
keep that.
seeds. Yeah,
Like
But
the
he-
West
he-
and the
he-
West
he
too,
didn't
which
play
has
that good
always
against
been
Denver.
All facts.
that's fair.
Which one? Are you saying?
That year was that year.
He's
He
so
played Denver,
overrated,
dude.
bro.
No, I wouldn't disagree. I'm going to disagree with that. He
CJ
had a
carried
bad
him.
game 7. No, he had a bad game 7. That was it.
Read that
Yo,
off.
he's so
Okay.
overrated.
What has Dame accomplished?
So this
He's
is
so
Dame
overrated.
has one Rookie of the Year. He has no MVP, no scoring title, no assist title, no one conference finals, no championship.
So you're not gonna
and a
read his
finals
stats?
appearance.
You're just going to read.
We know
he's
what
done?
Dame's
Those are
stats are.
grown.
But in
That's
turn,
the whole
in
reason.
turn,
That's the whole
wait,
reason
hold on,
he's
hold on.
in.
So if you're building your team around one guy, you're taking prime Orlando Dwight Howard or Dame.
That's
Dwight.
where things get.
You're taking
I'm gonna
Dwight
take Dwight
easy.
because of the defense.
Well, yeah. So
Dwight's got you there.
So if you're taking Dwight
but
in
it's
his prime
tough.
and
So
he
if
has
you
a
like,
better
if
resume,
you love stats
how
so
is
much,
Dame over
should
him?
Westbrook be over Dame?
Hell yeah.
If you love stats so
But
much.
Westbrook's in, isn't he?
He isn't.
No, he
Hell
was the
yeah,
last.
isn't.
He was the last player in.
Oh, okay. You got lucky just
What
now.
do you mean? He
You got
like,
lucky.
I
I
thought
thought
that
he.
was
I thought they didn't get.
No,
I thought
Westbrook
they
is
didn't get
easily
Westbrook
over
in.
Dame.
I thought they didn't
time?
get Westbrook
Yeah, hell
in.
yeah, he's
I thought
easily
they didn't
over
get
Dame.
Westbrook in. Woo.
See, this is an impossible scenario, and I hate to even say this out loud. But let's be real. You're telling me Dame and Tony Parker don't switch spots? They're not winning the exact same amount of
I
championships?
don't know about that. I don't know.
the hell?
Dame significantly
I
drops
said
off
Tony
in the
Parker's a
second
better
round.
player performer than Dame.
Oh, my God.
Yo, Dame drops off in the second and third round, bro. Like
If
it's,
he
He
gets-
plays
if
better
gets there.
talent.
If he get-
He plays better
Whoa.
talent.
And Tony
Cool.
Parker,
The West
played
back
better.
then was
Easy.
tough.
He's playing better talent as the rounds go on. His team
Wait,
is
so hold up,
inferior.
so
So the
In the
Pelicans
Western-
are a knock or an elite team.
And I'll give you that one. He shouldn't have
See,
lost
because
there.
What about the
Tony Parker
Grizzlies when he
Grizzlies?
got?
shouldn't have lost
Hold
there.
up. So James Harden gets knocked for losing one game and a quarter against the Warriors.
We don't have to bring in James
But
Harden,
Dame,
bro.
but Dame, hold on. I'm just saying. Let's look at this scenario. James Harden gets knocked for losing to Curry, Clay, and Draymond one game and one quarter. Dame has a double-digit lead in every single game of the Western
He
Conference
blows it.
Finals and lost every single game.
Listen,
and played
I'm
horrible.
not comparing Damian Lillard to James Harden.
No, I'm not.
Look,
we're not comparing. We're
outside
talking
of the
about Dame.
first round,
Dame
Dame's
drops
great.
off.
You
Wait,
bugged
versus
He does.
Hold
He
up. Yo,
That was a
yo,
tough
Riff.
West.
Yo, Riff.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying that Tony Parker didn't play bad talent. I'm saying that Damian Lillard.
Actually, no, Drew. I
stats
ask you this question.
Okay.
Versus Denver Nuggets, that second round, going to the Western Conference Finals, who saved the day for Portland?
CJ McCollum.
Was it CJ or Dame? It was CJ McCollum.
But that was the one. That's the one glaring instance where Dame really
Tony Parker
choked.
has saved.
Wait, Dame choked against the Pelicans too.
Bro.
The Pelicans, that was
He choked against the
Drew
Pelicans.
Holiday was like Drew Holiday is lockup.
But they secured home court. And everybody was picking
Tony
them
Parker
to win.
played prime Chris Paul.
And he outdueled him too multiple
he was
times.
The
cooking
Spurs
him.
team was better
But
than.
I'm just talking about individual. I'm just talking about from an individual standpoint. The Portland was better than the Pelicans.
It was tough matchups. AD obviously was cooking then. Drew Holiday's an excellent defender.
tough
But that
matchup.
Portland team was really not that solid.
They were a third seed, bro.
They secured home court.
Dame and CJ McCollum.
He's blew it as a third seed
Nurkic
twice.
is not bad.
So what about Denver
Nurkic
last
in
year?
and out.
What about Denver last year?
That was inexcusable as well. And
okay.
He played well though. To his credit,
He
Damian
did. He
Lillard
balled.
out.
But if you're that
his
guy,
team's not that great. It's been like
but if
that.
you're that guy, and mind you, Denver was hurt. They didn't have their
Listen,
second best
I'm
player.
not saying you're wrong there, but Dame still did his thing.
Dame is just really liked by the.
I'm gonna be
NBA,
honest.
bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not mad at them having Dame over Tony Parker.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm mad.
But over Dwight Howard.
That's the close one.
No, I don't think it's close. It's criminal to not have him over Dwight. To have him over
Steve
Dwight Howard.
Nash get in?
Yeah, he
Steve
got it.
Nash
He
got
got
it.
it.
Steve Nash deserves it though.
No, that's easy.
He deserves
Two-time
it.
MVP.
Yo,
Yeah.
no,
It's hard for me to
Joel,
remember
can I ask you a
seven.
question?
Yeah,
Can I ask
I can't
everybody?
remember
Can I ask
seven.
everybody a
Steve Nash
question
is
right
obvious.
now?
It's obvious.
They only had it.
Let me ask
25
all you a
guys.
question and be as honest as you all can be. Paul George or Dame all time? Because I think Paul George should be on the list over Dame.
No, Dame.
And
has
I know
had
that's
bigger
a hot
moments.
take, but I was looking at their accomplishments, what they've
Well, the
done.
defensive teams is going to put Paul George over.
Bro, Paul George's 2018 season, he finished top 3 in MVP and top 3 in DPOY. Damian Lillard will never do that in his life. Never do that in his life, ever in his life. He battled LeBron with Indiana, went to Game 7s, back-to-back years.
You want to talk about going ghost in the playoffs? Like, come on, that's easy for me to say as well.
What about last year? He was cooking last year in the playoffs.
Okay, but then
So Joel,
same
hold on,
thing,
hold on.
They still lost.
Give me two guys you think
In
should
the
have been on the list.
WCF.
Dwight, obviously, don't say Dwight because everybody's agreed on
Yeah,
Dwight.
that's a fact.
Tracy McGrady, Paul Gasol.
Pau Gasol.
I
Those are your
think
two
Tony
guys.
Parker should have been in.
3.
Even Chris Bosh, Alex English. I think these guys should have been in.
I feel like you could have left Chris Bosh off.
11-time All-Star?
Yeah, I feel like you can leave.
That's a lot of fucking All Stars, bro.
That's a lot of All-Star. That's a double-digit All-Star.
You've
chips?
been consistently great for 11 years. That's crazy.
There's a few guys you could put over.
And you know what's crazy? A couple years of Chris Bosh's career got shaved off because
So
of the
you-
blood
you-
clot.
you-
So he could have been an All-Star
put
maybe
Chris-
2 or 3
He's
more
a
times.
two-time champion.
I'm talking about. So you adding Chris Bosh into that?
No, that's not my 3 are not.
So who's your 3?
So my 3, obviously number 1 is Dwight Howard. Statistics, Dwight Howard's about to be top 10 all time in rebounds and blocks, but you already said that. So my second one is Pau
Did you say
Gasol.
that?
I didn't say that.
Oh.
I said he's in that.
He's about to
only,
be top 10 in both.
Oh,
He's
I
only. He's the only. Dwight is the only player to have Dwight joins this list of players to have 13K rebounds and 2K blocks. Duncan, Garnett, Shaq, Olajuwon, Parrish, and Abdul-Jabbar.
He's about to be top 10 in both though. So accumulative. Then my second one is Pau Gasol, 2-time champion. Got to help Kobe win championships. Obviously wasn't the best player, but you know, in the 2009 finals, he balled out. Even in 2010 finals against Kevin Garnett, he actually outplayed him if you look at statistics and everything. So I think he definitely deserves to be there. And then my last one, I mean, it's kind of a hot take, but I feel like if I feel like Paul George is better than Dame, so I say Paul George should be in over Dame, but that's my opinion though. It's just what Dame did early on in his career with Indiana is really great. And then on top of that, this year he's gonna have a stellar year this year. And then postseason last year played really well. And he's a better defender.
So I actually had Dwight. Ben Wallace was one that I was thinking about as well, but I understand him being left off. I have Clay Thompson, easily could be debated, and Kyrie Irving, Tony Parker.
TP.
It's tough for me because I look at Clay Thompson. He obviously has the 3 championships. He has an all-NBA defensive team. He has an all-NBA team. He obviously is one of the best shooters of all time, arguably the second best shooter of all time. And if we're taking winning into account, he's a part of one of the best dynasties ever in Golden State Warriors. I had a few of these listed out. I had Dwight Howard versus Anthony Davis versus Ben Wallace. Obviously, we see how the majority of us are leaning Dwight Howard. I had Ray Allen versus Clay Thompson.
Right.
Now, that one's close because obviously, in terms of ball in their hands, who could do more with the ball, obviously Ray Allen has been or had shown that he is the better with the ball in his hands. That being said, catch and shoot, I'm going Clay. Defense, I'm going Clay. So it's closer there than the no conversation being had there about it. And then Kyrie Irving versus Lillard versus Tony Parker. Kyrie's done some amazing things in this league, and you're 100% right. Easy.
Now, come on. You're bugging right
now. You're being OD.
Like what?
No, we get you don't like him. Like,
no, like what?
But
right.
come on, bro. 2016 was he had a great playoff run.
And
he
2017
outplayed the MVP
thing.
in the
What
finals. Bro, that's one of the greatest accomplishments in all of basketball.
Last season, he did average 28.
He's a hater,
listen,
bro.
I will give you this.
He's a hater. He don't like Kyrie.
I will give you this. He's been hurt. He doesn't have the longevity, and he's been a diva.
I didn't say he should be in the top 75 though.
But talent wise, it could be a debate that he could be in the top 75. But this isn't a talent list, clearly.